Hello, sports betting friends. I'm back with a second consecutive live stream to present some MLB picks for you. Today, on June 27, we have 9 games on the menu. And how about I give you 7 betting picks? Do you like the sound of that? If so, let me know in the comments right now. All right, so yesterday, the famous scoring drought betting system hit again as the Astros defeated the Rockies pretty easily. So that raised our season record with this betting system to 19 wins and 4 losses, which is incredible. I also took a shot on the Tampa Bay Rays to pull off the upset, but they failed to do so, unfortunately. All right, let me take a look at the comments. Jack Hermit says, yes, sir, thank you. So it's nice to see you, Jack. Thank you for joining today's live stream. We also have Bonnie Maru. Thank you for being here. All right, so let's get started right away with a pick on the first game of the day, which is the Twins against the Arizona D-backs. And on this game, my pick goes to the Twins to win straight up. As you can see on your screen, the best odds that I've been able to find was plus 100 in American format, which corresponds to 2.00 if you are more familiar with decimal odds. All right, why am I taking the Twins in this game? Well, David Festa will make his MLB debut. And as a general rule, I like to go with such pitchers who are making their MLB debut because the rest of the team is playing harder to give that pitcher a victory, his first MLB victory. Just like I observed last weekend, some of you have seen it in a video I posted on Tuesday where my youngest son pitched against guys who were 2 years older than him. He could barely pitch the ball to home plate, but the rest of the team was really laser focused. They wanted to help him, and the our team won 8-2, thanks to the team being really focused and they wanted to help the tiny little guy who was pitching for the first time in his life. Based on what I read, David Festa has a 93 to 96 miles per hour fastball, and he also has an above average slider and changeup. He is among the minor league leaders with 87 strikeouts this year. He's basically replacing Chris Paddock, who is on the 15-day injured list. In AAA this year, Festa owns a 3.82 ERA, which is encouraging as well. For the D-backs, we have Jordan Montgomery taking the mound. In his first season with the D-backs, it has been going wrong for him. Nothing is going right for him. He has a 5.71 ERA with his new club, which is abysmal. And what's really strange is he owns a 6-4 record, which looks good on the surface. But honestly, I don't even look at pitchers' win-loss record. To me, that means absolutely nothing. I care more about their ERA and most importantly, their whip statistic, the walks plus hits per inning pitched. So that tells you how much traffic there's been on the bases when that guy has been on the mound. And remember throughout the entire live stream that the league average for the whip stat is 1.30. So that will give you a baseline of what's good or not good. All right. Now I have to admit that Montgomery has won his past 3 starts, so he's done well lately. But at Chase Field, his ERA has been even worse at 6.55. That's really awful. So to me, I'm going to take a shot on this underdog. I'm taking the Twins to win straight up in Arizona. All right, let's move on to the second game. And before we do so, I want to say hi to Mike Wilkerson, who says, let's go. We have Dave Giroux. I remember you from being on my live streams last year. He says he likes the Giants straight up. Well, this is the next game I'm going to discuss. I'll tell you what's my favorite pick on that game. All right, so let's go with the second pick. So in the Cubs Giants game, my pick goes to Shota Imanaga to record under 5.5 strikeouts. Now that looks pretty scary on the surface because if you had placed that bet in his past 10 starts, your record would have been 2-8, which is really bad. So that looks like a weird bet to make. However, there are two reasons why I'm taking under 5.5 strikeouts. Well, first of all, my mathematical model that has helped us rack up a good record on player prop bets. I don't know if I can tell you the actual numbers. Well, let me show you my screen. It will be even better for you. Uh, Here is the Excel spreadsheet where I'm tracking all the premium picks that I've made on player prop bets. And as you can see in yellow, so far we have accumulated 60 wins, 43 losses for a win percentage of 58.3%. Now, if you had placed a $1 bet on each of those plays, so far you would have earned a $6.21 profit. Now, obviously, nobody bets $1. So if your typical bet is $100, then simply multiply by 100. So in this case, you would have earned a profit of 621 bucks. And the ROI, the return on investment, has been 6%. So in other words, my math model has done a fine job. And in fact, it has done quite well over many years. And this model says that this bet holds a 58.8% chance of winning. I'm not going to go into the details of how it works, this model. Basically, it simulates the game 1 million times with the exact lineup from both teams and with their recent stats. So with a 58.8% chance of winning, that means the lowest acceptable odds are minus 143. In decimal odds, that's 1.70. In other words, if you can get odds that are better than this, then you are good to go. And if I go back to my screen here, as you can see, the best line I saw on Imanaga under 5.5 strikeouts was minus 125 with DraftKings. But maybe your bookie has a line of minus 130, minus 135, minus 140. That's all good. If the line is minus 145 or worse, then don't do it. All right, and I told you there were two reasons why I'm making that bet. The other one is the Pinnacle Sportsbook agrees with this play, and Pinnacle has the sharpest line on the market. I could even check live with you. Maybe the odds have changed, hopefully not, but I'll show you my screen. Oh no, I closed the window, so forget it. So the line with Pinnacle on the under was minus 160 and on the over plus 109. So basically Pinnacle is telling us that the under should be favored by more than minus 125. It basically agrees with this play. And using that strategy has done wonders for me over the years. Also worth noting is the Giants have struck out the 17th most times in the big leagues, so they are in the middle of the pack in that category. All right, let's move on to the third game of the day, which concerns the Braves against the White Sox. Hello, Paul G, who just posted a comment. He likes Philly and Baltimore minus 1.5. Thank you very much, my friend. All right, so for the third game, let me discuss a betting system called the Cold Teams Matchup. Let me check something. All right, so here is the performance of that system over recent years. By the way, I did not track my system picks in 2020 due to COVID-19. The stadiums were empty, so I felt like it was not really worth it and it would bias the results. So as you can see, we got a profit in 2019, also in 2021, a small profit in 2022. Then last year we had some losses, but over those 4 years, we have picked up a profit which corresponds to a ROI of plus 4%, which is quite good. So today there is a team that fits under that system. Basically, here are the rules. I've got it right here. So you need to bet the home team if they have lost at least 4 straight games whenever they are facing a visiting club that has lost either 1, 2, or 3 consecutive games. And today, the White Sox qualify under this system because they are at home, they've lost 4 consecutive games, while their opponent, the Braves, have lost 1 game in a row. However, to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of picking the White Sox to win straight up. They are huge, huge underdogs in this game. And basically, I'm going to stay away, and I don't necessarily have a great pick to recommend right now. Chris Sale will be on the mound for the Braves. He owns a great 2.91 ERA. His whip stat is 0.93, which is awesome. If a whip stat is below 1, that's incredibly good. Now, in his past 10 games, Sale has allowed 2 runs or fewer 9 times. Okay, so in other words, in 9 of his past 10 starts, he has allowed 2 runs or fewer, which is incredible. His only blemish was allowing 8 runs to the lowly Oakland A's. What the heck happened in that game? That was weird. So anyway, I'm not making a pick on that game. Let's move on to the Marlins versus Phillies game. In this case, I'm betting no run to be scored in the first inning. And as you can see on your screen, the best line I have found is minus 110 in American format, which is the same as 1.91 if you are more familiar with decimal odds. All right, so for the Marlins, we have Trevor Rogers starting. He's not a great pitcher, but here is one thing I have noticed. When an ordinary pitcher faces an elite hurler, he tends to do better than usual. Maybe that could be due to the opposing offense relaxing a little bit because they know they have a great pitcher on the mound. In this case, the Phillies are sending Zack Wheeler to the mound. So sometimes the offense will relax a little bit because they're like, things will go well. We have Zack on the mound. So I think Rogers could do well. And in fact, if you look at his past 3 starts, Rogers has done pretty well. He has allowed two, and 1 earned run in those past 3 outings. So I think he's capable of not allowing of not allowing a run in the initial frame. Now Zack Wheeler is a beast. He owns a 2.73 ERA and a spectacular 0.96 whip stat. And like I said earlier, if your whip stat is below 1, that is incredibly good. Well, he has 6 good starts over his past 7, and in his case, his only blemish was in Baltimore, where he surrendered 8 earned runs. But he was facing the best offense in the league. The Orioles have scored the most runs in the big leagues thus far this season. Now the task will be much easier against the lowly Marlins. So again, in this game, I'm taking no run scored in the first inning. Now, are you ready for my top play in the Rangers versus Orioles game? First, we have Nakre 623 who is back. Thank you for joining. He mentions that Imanaga is at minus 125 with DraftKings, whereas other bookies have a line closer to minus 140. As I said earlier, my break-even point is minus 143, so you could go with it, but it's close, borderline acceptable. Bonjour à Steve Roberge. Merci de ton commentaire. Thanks for your comment, Steve Roberge. All right, so the next game, Rangers Orioles. I'm going with Orioles minus half a run in the first 5 innings. So in other words, that means to win this bet, we need Baltimore to be ahead after 5 innings. If the score is tied, we are losing the bet. We really need the Orioles to take the lead. This time, the best available line I found was minus 122 with the Stake Sportsbook. You can see the screenshot that I took here. All right, why do I like this pick? Well, if you've been following me last year, I picked Corbin Burns quite often. Well, I picked my spots. I did not pick him every time he went on the mound, but I picked my spots with Corbin Burns, and he yielded a lot of profit for us. So thanks, Corbin, for all the money that you generated for us. Now he's doing a fantastic job in his first year in Baltimore. In fact, his worst start was 4 earned runs, which happened in his last start. So I think he will be laser focused today. He will want to bounce back from that poor outing. It was not that poor, but it's amazing how he has only allowed 4 earned runs at most the entire season. So you can count on him. And by the way, in that game where he surrendered 4 earned runs, he still pitched 7 innings in Houston. So it was not an ugly start by any standard. Now he will be facing John Gray, who is not bad. He owns a pretty good 3.03 ERA, but his whip stat is not that great. According to his whip stat, he is slightly better than average because his stat stands at 1.23. And remember, the league average is 1.30. Now, Baltimore is 26 and 16 at home, while the Rangers on the road have been reeling. They only 17 and 24 record. Now, the Orioles lost 5 consecutive games, but they have probably regained their confidence after winning their last game. And also worth noting, and that played a role in my pick here, is the fact that Baltimore did not have to travel overnight, which is not the case of the Rangers. The Rangers were on the road yesterday. They had to travel overnight to Baltimore, so that could have an effect on this game. All right, so again, my pick on this game is the Orioles to have a lead after 5 innings. All right, let's move on to the Yankees versus Blue Jays game, which may be the most anticipated game by many viewers, especially my Canadian friends. This time I'm going to make use of a betting system called the Snap Losing Streak number 1. Let me review its rules with you. Bet any team that won its previous game after losing at least 6 in a row. And you can place the bet if they are facing a different opponent than yesterday, and if their money line is smaller than plus 175. If we take a look at my screen, let's take a look at the Blue Jays. As you can see, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They lost 7 consecutive games before snapping that ugly losing slide with a 9-3 victory at Fenway Park. So, if we go back to the explanations of this betting system, sorry, okay. So the Jays won their last game after losing at least 6 in a row. They are indeed facing a different opponent because in their last game they faced Boston. Now they are facing the Bronx Bombers, and their money line is smaller than plus 175. So this betting system recommends to bet that team, and that's why my pick on this game is the Blue Jays to win straight up. In other words, I'm taking the Jays money line. Now let me show you the performance of this betting angle over 4 recent seasons. As you can see, we've had some ups and downs, but overall, if you look at the row in green, we have won 4.81 units via 32 bets, which corresponds to a plus 15% ROI. Now, what might stand out to you is how picky this system is. On average, we've had 32 bets in 4 years, so that's an average of only 8 wagers per year. And today the Jays fit under this system, so I really need to take advantage of that system. All right, so I also have more arguments supporting this pick. We have Carlos Rodon starting for the Yankees versus Jose Berrios for the Jays. They have pretty similar numbers this year. Rodon's ERA is 3.86 versus 3.43 for Berrios. And Berrios is also slightly better than Rodon in terms of the whip stat, 1.13 versus 1.21 for Rodon. So we have a slight edge in terms of the pitching matchup by taking the Jays. Now both hurlers have been struggling lately. Rodon enjoyed 7 straight quality starts, but he's been faltering in his past 2 outings. In fact, he allowed 5 runs at Boston before giving up 8 runs to the Braves in his most recent outing. Now, as far as Berrios is concerned, he has served up 7 home runs in his last 4 starts, which is quite bad. However, you could give him kind of an excuse because he faced some very tough offenses in those past 4 starts. He faced Cleveland, Milwaukee, and Baltimore. Now, Cleveland has scored the 5th most runs this year in the big leagues. Milwaukee ranks 6th in that same category, and Baltimore ranks 1st. So, in other words, he has faced teams that rank in the top 6 in each of his past 4 starts. And it doesn't get any better today because he's facing the Bronx Bombers, the Yankees, who rank 3rd in that category. Now, I'm also a bit concerned about Berrios facing the Yankees. Last year, he faced them on 3 occasions, and in those games, he allowed 3, 4, and 4 earned runs. This is not awful, but it's not great either. Now, one more reason why I like this pick is because in this game, the Yankees are backed by one of my worst performing betting system called the pummeled pitchers. Okay, I'm not going to review the rules with you today, maybe in a future video, but it has done extremely bad over the past 4 years. Its ROI has been minus 13.3%. So that's why this year and towards the end of last year, I started fading some of its recommendations. So today it is suggesting to bet the Yankees, but since this system is doing very badly, I would actually be tempted to go with the Jays. And like I said earlier, the Jays are supported by a strong betting system called the Snap Losing Streak number 1. So that's why my pick on this game, and that will make my Canadian viewers happy. I'm taking the Jays to pull off the upset against the Yankees. The next game on the menu is the Reds against the Cards, and this is a game where right now I don't have a betting pick to recommend. Let's move on to the Guardians against Royals game, which should be exciting. This time I'm going to make use of a betting system called the Snap Winning Streak. First, I'm going to show you its performance over recent years. As you can see, it's been up and down. So in 2019, we lost some money, but we came back strong in 2021. Then we lost money in 2022. And last year, we did very well. We had a ROI of plus 27% thanks to a 19 and 10 record overall. Now, if you look at the green row, So over those 4 years, we have obtained 76 wins, 69 losses, even though the average odds were 2.04 in decimal format. If you are more familiar with American odds, that means the average odds of our 145 bets was plus 104. So, in other words, we took more underdogs and favorites, and yet we posted a winning percentage above 50%. Overall, the ROI was plus 3.6%. I know sometimes some people are like, well, 3.6%, that's not super exciting, but honestly, having just a positive ROI over 4 years is very good. So if you think that's bad, that's okay, and I respect your opinion, but in my mind, plus 4% over 4 years is quite good. That's how you can grind out some profit in the long run with many betting systems like these. Now let me explain how does this system work exactly. All right, so what you need to do is focus on road teams who lost their past game after winning at least five in a row. When that occurs, you need to bet the home team. So, in other words, you have a road team who had a great winning stretch, then they lost one game, and based on historical data, they tend to lose a second consecutive game, perhaps because their confidence is shaken. Now, in the case of today, the Guardians won seven straight games before losing yesterday 4-2. And since they are on the road, well, I'm taking the home squad. I'm going with the Royals to win straight up. The best odds I have found about an hour ago was plus 100 in American format, which is the same as 2.0 in decimal format. So, in other words, we are taking a slight underdog. Well, first, let me mention the fact that yesterday the Guardian had to travel overnight, while KC did not. They were at home already, so that's a good point in favor of the Royals. As far as starting pitchers are concerned, Ben Lively has been a bit better than his counterpart this year. His counterpart is Michael Waka, who starts for KC. So Lively's ERA is 3.03 versus 4.07 for Waka. In terms of the whip stat, those two hurlers are quite similar. Lively's whip stat is 1.16 versus 1.22 for Waka. So there's not a big gap here. And I'm really wondering, will Lively's success continue all season long? He's 32 years old, and honestly, he had never been a good pitcher before. For example, last year he posted a 5.33 ERA. So it seems like a bit of an outlier this year. I'm not convinced that he will continue being that great. Meanwhile, Michael Walker was sharp in his first start following a foot fracture. Now, if you look at his past six outings, he allowed two earned runs or fewer in each of them. And over that stretch, he has presented a great 2.55 ERA. So, in other words, he has been pretty strong of late, and it doesn't look like his foot fracture had any effect if you take a look at his last game. Of course, I'm a bit worried about the whole Royals team struggling lately. They have posted a 5-12 record over the past 17 games. But if you want to look at the positive, they are 2-1 in their last three games. So maybe they are turning the corner. Well, that's my hope for today. All right, we have one more game to go. Are you ready for my pick on the Tigers versus Angels game? And let me say hello to a few more people who have posted a comment. We have AM and More Than Most who says live show. Wow, nice. Well, thank you so much, my friend, More Than Most, for showing up for today's live stream. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's move on to the last game of the day. No runs scored in the first inning. That's my pick on this game. And this time, as you can see from the screenshot appearing on your screen, the best odds I've seen about an hour ago was minus 120 in American format with FanDuel. That's the same as 1.83 in decimal format. All right, let me tell you a few things about this bet. Well, first of all, both offenses are not that great. The Tigers have scored the eight fewest runs in the big leagues this year, while the Angels are sixth. They have scored the six fewest runs. So that's a good start. For Detroit, Jack Flaherty is going to start. He was very good from 2018 to 2021. Then he missed most of the 2022 season, and when he came back last year, he was not that great. In fact, he posted a 4.99 ERA. But he is clearly back strong in 2024. Now he owns a 5-4 record, but like I said earlier, I really don't care about the win-loss record personally. It's not a great indicator of future success. His ERA stands at 2.92, which is awesome, and his whip stat is below 1 at 0.97. So he's been a pretty reliable and trustworthy starting pitcher. And by the way, he has allowed just one long ball in his past four starts. So I'm really confident that he will shut down the Angels in the first inning. Now, what's a bigger source of concern is will the Angels shut out the Tigers in the top of the first inning? The starter for the Angels is Davis Daniel. He made three appearances out of the bullpen last year, and he gave up just one earned run in 12 and one-third innings. So that looks great. But one source of concern is the fact that he struck out nine batters, but he also walked nine batters. That's really bad. Now this year with Salt Lake, he has posted an ugly 5.33 ERA, even though he has a good strikeout to walk ratio. In fact, in 76 innings, he has struck out 82 batters, which is great, and he has issued 25 walks. But still, I think he will get the job done. So I'm betting no run to be scored in that game. All right, so I hope you enjoyed those seven picks. If you join later, I want to give you a quick summary. Let's look at the slides that I had prepared for you. First, I took the Twins to pull off the mild upset in Arizona. I'm banking on David Festa to win his MLB debut. In the Cubs-Giants game, I'm taking Shota Imanaga to get under 5.5 strikeouts. In other words, he needs to get 5 punch-outs or less for this bet to win. No, I had no pick here. Then I took no run scored in the first inning of the Marlins versus Phillies game. There's a very high chance that Zack Wheeler will blank Miami in the top of the first. And then I'm confident that Trevor Rogers can also get the job done in the bottom of the first. He's done well lately. Then I took the Orioles to have the lead after 5 innings against the Rangers. I'm banking on my man Corbin Burns. He has yielded a lot of profit for us in recent years, even though I'm a bit scared by John Gray, who can be pretty good at times. I also took the Jays to pull off the upset against the Yankees. Come on, Jose Berrios, we need you to do well against Carlos Rodon. The main reason was that the Jays are supported by the snap losing streak #1 betting system that is quite lucrative, while the Yankees are supported by a system that has done very poorly lately. I also took another underdog, the Royals, to beat the Guardians. To me, Michael Waka has done very well in his last six starts. I think he can get the job done. The Royals are at home. They are home underdogs. Come on, KC. And finally, I am banking on no run to be scored in the first inning of the Tigers Angels game. Hey, buddy, so did you like this video format for today, this live stream? If so, I would be so grateful if you could talk about the Professor MJ brand and share this video with your friends or family or colleagues that you know enjoy sports betting. Really, that's the biggest thank you that you could do for me if you could talk about the Professor MJ brand to people that you know, law who enjoy sports betting, of course. Also, you could click the thumbs up button and or you can leave a comment, you can subscribe to this channel. All of those things where you interact with my channel would be great. Oh, and by the way, before we go, something important that some of you may not know, there is a new feature that I added to my YouTube channel quite recently, maybe 2, 3 weeks ago. It's the famous YouTube membership. So you could basically become members of my YouTube channel, and there are three levels: bronze, silver, and gold. Now, if you enjoy today's live stream where I posted a pick on pretty much every game, well, if you sign up for the silver level, that is exactly what you're going to get: a pick on every single game every day. Now, at the bronze level, what you get are all of my system picks. What does that mean? So, as you probably know by then, a few years ago, I developed 19 betting systems. And every day, I track which teams fit under those 19 systems. So, if you sign up for the bronze level, that's what you're going to get. I'm going to show you which teams qualify under which system, along with a quick comment. Well, here's something I could do for you. I could show you yesterday's post for those of you who signed up for the bronze level. Yes, I'm showing my screen right now. Pick on each game. Okay, right here, you can see yesterday, Mariners against Rays. The Rays fit under the blowout #1 system. I gave a quick comment. Then we had the Braves fitting under the cold team versus hot team matchup in game one of the doubleheader, which was a winner. A quick comment. You can see the Rockies Astros game. We also had a pick, and also in the Nationals Padres game. So basically, this is the type of write up that you will get every day if you sign up for the bronze level. Whereas if you sign up for the silver, you will get a pick on each game. These are yesterday's pick. By the way, if you look at the replay, I believe we posted, I'm not sure if Matt Chapman under 1.5 total bases won or not, but up to then, I think we had 9 wins and 4 losses yesterday. I'm not 100% sure about what I'm saying here, but you can check by yourself if you want. So you will get a quick pick on each game if you sign up for the silver level. And now if you sign up for the gold level, well, you're going to get all the perks that I just mentioned. So the system picks, you'll also get a free pick on each game, and you will also get a premium pick every single day. As you can see, yesterday's premium pick was the New York Mets plus 1.5 run, which won very easily as they destroyed the Yankees. So this is what you would get if you are a gold member. Obviously, as you're going to see, there are different prices for each level. I have to admit, I don't remember the price off the top of my head. I think the bronze level is like $9.99 for a month. So that's ridiculous. It's like 33 cents per day. Now, if you want to sign up for that, you need to click the join button. So if you are on my channel page, you see the join button, or if you go under any of my prior videos, if we take this video for instance, the join button is always there. Now, someone told me recently that I think if you are looking at iPad, for some reason the join button does not appear. So it might depend what you're using. Are you on a laptop, on your cell phone? But on most platforms you have the join button available. So that would be really great if you signed up for any of those levels. I'm really offering a lot of stuff. so that you can grow your bankroll. And it's up to you to see what your budget is and what you're looking for. But the Professor MJ's goal, my main goal is to boost your bankroll. That's really my number one priority. It's to help you crush your bookies. So come and join us with to get all of those betting tips. All right, so a big thank you for watching this live stream. I appreciate you. I want to say hello to PO and also a guy named Cards. I also see Danny Jutra, who is asking how do I bet on sportsbook which are outside of Quebec. Well, I simply sign up. There are many sports books who accept people from the province of Quebec. Unfortunately, I'm not going to recommend specific ones, but if you receive my free picks or my paid picks, I always show where I found the best odds available. That will give you some suggestions. But honestly, I am not comfortable recommending specific bookies. In fact, a lawyer once told me, don't do that to make sure you're not going to get into any trouble. Okay, I'm not going to promote any specific sports books, but there are many offshore bookies who are very reliable, who accept business from the province of Quebec or even if you live in the US or other provinces. That's quite easy to find. Ron Copra says, thanks for the picks, Prof. Thank you very much. Jesse Gaines says, I miss your Reds cards pick. In fact, that's one of the lone games where I did not post a pick. There are only two games where I don't have a pick. The other one was Braves White Sox. All right, Brian McGuire, it's good to see you again. I've seen you on several occasions before. So thank you, everybody. That will be it for me today. We have had a pretty good live stream today of close to 45 minutes. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again very soon. Tomorrow, I may not post any video because my oldest son plays another baseball tournament. He plays at 1 p.m. and it's out of town. We need to leave at around 8 in the morning. So I'll try to post a video tonight about a game which takes place on Friday, but that's not a guarantee. Okay, so I'll do my best. So if by 9 p.m. tonight there's no video, then you probably won't have any free picks for Friday. It will be too late, but I'll do my best. All right. Thank you very much. And please click the thumbs up, subscribe, comment, or join my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I'll see you very soon.